All those white trucks are gone. There is still one vehicle from the building department that is currently still parked in the parking lot. And it is 5:15 at this time.
How you doing? Good.
They're all locked. No, they're locked for good. Locked for good. I can't get in these. So, we walk down the side of the building to the other walkway, which is now blocked off. What do you know? Truly blocked off. So instead of maintaining it, they put a fence up where Lake Waterford is. They literally put a fence up along here so that you cannot access that stairway. And let's try these doors. Oh, it's open. It's open. It's open. Finally, we have doors that are open.
Think so? What do you think? I think you should hit them every month. You're gonna need at least a minute and a half for that letter. There's some pretty nice ones down there on the hill. Mr. Speaks, how are you, sir?
Yeah, we just got back from vacation.
Shame on me.
Then we went to Mississippi. You know, I was 32.
You guys know your lines?
That's cold for them.
You sure you know your lines? Mess it up.
At least we're getting out of town.
Hopefully. You never know. I've seen angels.
Yeah, I have to open day. We were talking about that thing. Open day.
Or she'd be on her closer way to her.
They have to postpone it last year. That's why they postponed 8 days last year. Wasn't it?
I have to re-engage my memory.
Is that on?
No, when they did, they had to postpone. Couple of days. First couple of days. I don't see that.
But I'm saying,
Let me guess.
it was lightning shot.
Got another Mickey event going on there.
Yeah. Where's the hat? You know? Off this past year.
I don't know. I've seen a bunch of things on Facebook and flyers, but
I got it.
I don't know whether you're having it at Henry or.
Oh, man, it's great.
That would be nice.
At the last.
I heard it was good. I wasn't there, but I heard it was good. LGI or you'll have to hold down the fort for me to get up there.
Good evening, welcome to March 11th, 2019 Board of Trustees meeting. Before tonight's meeting begins, I'd like to ask everybody to stand for a moment of silence, remembering all the brave men and women who have served this great nation of ours, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Scout Group 810 tonight. Gentlemen, would you come forward, please?
Yes.
Do the moment of silence first. You scouts, we're ready. Thank you. Roll call attendance.
Bartolotta. Here. Birch. Here. Roscoe.
Here.
Joliet. Here. Marquis. Here. Thomas.
Here.
Wall.
Here. Okay, next up, need a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Make a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? None. Okay. Under announcements, Waterford Township Public Library presents Open Mic Night on Thursday, March 21st, 2019, from 7 p.m. to 8:20 p.m. at the LA Cafe, 5815 Dixie Highway, Waterford, Michigan, 48329. It's just a little north of Andersonville Road on the west side, calling Dixie a north-south road. So, should be a good time. If you have the chance, show up, show your support to the library. Join the Friends of the Library on Saturday, April 13th, 2019 for the second annual Book It 5K event. Pets are welcome to participate with owners. Proceeds benefit the Waterford Public Library. Start, finish at the Warming House on Civic Center campus. Registration begins at 8:30 a.m. with a 10 a.m. race start time. Registration information is available at the library. Take advantage of the early bird discount ending on March 25th, 2019. 51st District Court, the Waterford Coalition for Youth, and the Waterford Youth Assistance cordially invite the community to Court Night Open House on Wednesday, April 17th, 2019, 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. here at the 51st District Court, 5100 Civic Center Drive. There will be special presentations at 4:45 p.m. and 5:45 p.m. For more information, please contact 248-618-7598. Somebody called me today and wanted to know what was the deal about the open mic night at the court. I didn't sound familiar, that's why. They must have read this wrong, but okay. Because I checked to make sure I was reading it right, and by golly, I got that one right. Join Parks and Recreation for the Unicorn Utopia Party on Saturday, May 4, 2019 at Hess Hathaway Community Building from 3 to 5 p.m. Dress up in your favorite special gown or outfit for the magical chance to meet a unicorn. Each child will have a unique photo opportunity at a unicorn, on a unicorn and a ride. There will be craft, hayride, Hess Hathaway Animal Tour, and a special treat and drink. Children must be accompanied by an adult. The fee is $18 per child and pre-registration is required at waterfordmi.gov/parks or call 248-674-5441. Join Parks and Recreation for the Family Dance Party on Saturday, May 18th, 2019 from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Waterford Recreation Center. A professional 4x6 photograph and refreshments are included. Pre-registration, $12 per person, is required at waterfordmi.gov/parks or again call 248-674-5441. This is not on the announcement sheet, but this past, I believe it was Thursday, the Waterford Kettering High School girls basketball team won the district championship. And as we speak, they're playing in the regionals right now. So go Captains, bring a regional title home. Under awards and presentations, 51st District Court's 2018 Annual Report presented by Jennifer Tom of the 51st District Court. She is a court administrator. Jen, how are you tonight?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good. You know what today is?
Today is March 11th.
No, it's another day closer to opening day. Gotcha.
I thought you were going to say it was the day after my birthday, yesterday. No, we do have,
You brought that up. I didn't see anything about you being older.
I'm like a wine, I get better with age. You're good. I do have a report up on the desktop that we saved. I don't know if you're gonna follow along.
Do you see it? I think it's,
Oh, if you see on the left-hand side, just above that, the 2018 district. Oh, there you go. All right. And how about I give you the thumbs up sign when we're ready to move? Is that okay? All right. Oh, good. It's there too. Okay. Knocking out of the park so far. All right. So the goal of the 51st District Court is to provide a fair and neutral forum for members of the community to come and resolve their disputes. We pride ourselves on ensuring everyone who comes into our building is treated with courtesy and respect, is afforded due process according to the letter of the law, and finds their experience to be efficient, timely, and user-friendly. Our court has jurisdiction over cases which arise within the boundaries of Waterford Township. That means we handle all felonies through preliminary exam, criminal misdemeanors, traffic and zoning, civil infractions, general civil lawsuits, which are civil lawsuits up to $25,000 represented by an attorney, small claims lawsuits, which are up to $6,000 and are represented by the parties involved in the case, and landlord-tenant disputes, typically involving non-payment of rent, contract forfeitures, and health and hazardous conditions within the premises. We have 4 divisions of the court: the traffic, criminal, civil, and probation department. The traffic department processes civil infractions written by local police, DNR, and co-defense officers. Criminal department is responsible for processing misdemeanor and felony criminal law violations. Our work clerks work closely with law enforcement to manage search warrants, swear-tos, and arraignments. They also serve as a point of contact for prosecutors and defense during the legal progression of each case. Our civil department, we covered in the last slide, but they also are responsible for scheduling and setting up marriages that we perform every Wednesday afternoon. The probation department is responsible for screening, assessment, and eventual supervision of all individuals being considered for or placed on probation. Each of our probation officers have earned their CCJP certification, which is their Certified Criminal Justice Professional certification through the Michigan Board of Addiction Professionals. This is important because every individual who's considered for our treatment programs needs to undergo a complete biopsychosocial assessment, and they're responsible for performing this assessment and making the recommendation to the judge. Next slide. The charts on this slide at the top of the page are relative to case flow and filings. The one on the left talks about case flow, dispositions, and how many cases are ending at the end of the year, and the graph on the right is related to filings. It's important to keep in mind that these are different numbers that flow together to paint a picture, but they aren't perfectly symmetric. Because each case is a life of its own, there's a unique ebbs and flows to the progression. So that's important to keep in mind. Performance measures are operational standards which are adopted by the Michigan Supreme Court. They are uniform expectations that courts are required to track and report on an annual, quarterly, or biannual basis based on the determination of the State Court Administrative Office. They are summarized annually for individual courts and given back to us to use as a comparative benchmark and management tool. I'm sure you are all familiar with the old adage that justice delayed is justice denied. As such, one of the measurements that we're guided by is case rate. If you look below at the bottom of you'll see the case type and the corresponding time guideline and our disposal rate compared to what the statewide average is. As you can see, we're meeting or exceeding state averages on the majority of the case types that we're managing. Jury statistics is another newer operational standard that was recently adopted. In 2014, the state of Michigan did an analysis of spending statewide and discovered that there was over $6.7 million spent on an annual basis in this process. Coupled with the fact that most people don't like being summoned for jury duty, despite the fact that it's a civil responsibility, we wanted to take a closer look at how it is that we do things. So we reviewed our operating practices and took steps to improve trial date certainty and managed to save some costs without compromising justice, timeliness, or efficiency. I also wanted to note that within Oakland County, Waterford residents have one of the highest summons response rates, so I think that's real kudos to the citizens of Waterford that they take that responsibility seriously and show up, because that's not the case in all of the community. We also, as I mentioned, have two problem-solving courts. We have a sobriety court that was first implemented in 2001 and a veterans treatment court that came to fruition in 2013. In 2018, we graduated 41 participants. It was also a watermark year for us accepting cases from neighboring jurisdiction. We took in a total of 29 cases. We worked closely with the Veterans Court with Clarkston and Pontiac, but we also accepted cases from Farmington, Troy, and a number of other communities. So I think that's a really great thing that we're doing with that collaborative working together. In 2018, we also administered our public satisfaction surveys. That's something that we've been doing since 2014, actually 13 we piloted it for the first time. Across the state court administrative office requires that each court administer surveys for a period of 5 days. It's typically done between August and October 31st. They give us a standardized survey. We poll everybody that comes in and out of the building. Of course, everybody doesn't want to fill out a survey, but we did have 221 participants in 2018 respond to the questions on the survey. And then we submit those to the Secretary of State, and or the State Court Administrative Office, and they give those back to us. So as you can see, our 2018 survey results are very impressive. 95% of our court users said they felt like they were treated with courtesy and respect by court staff. 88% of court patrons felt that the judges had handled their case fairly. 94% of respondents reported that the judge or magistrate had treated everyone with courtesy and respect. 91% of court users reported completing their business in a reasonable amount of time. 68% of court patrons reported an outcome which was favorable to them. To my mind, that number makes everything else even better, because you see that not everybody was happy with what happened when they were in our building, but they still felt that they were treated fairly, that they were treated with respect, and they understood what the outcome of their case was. So if you look back to our organizational cornerstones and the mission of what it is that we're trying to do, I think that's reflective that we're doing a pretty good job. Always room for improvement, but we're doing a pretty good job. Next page. Courts are essentially nonprofit organizations, although we do collect fines. All of the fines that we collect and monies that we take in are subsequently returned to third parties pursuant to statute, so we call them agency funds. In 2018, the court took in just over $1.7 million in all of its receipts. Courts are judged by the State Court Administrative Office on court collections. There are 7 core competency standards of which we're expected to adhere to. We meet all 7 standards. We also take steps above and beyond. We go after outstanding receivables with tax intercepts each year. Last year we filed 523. As of mid-February, we had just over $4,000 that we received back, but that's around the time that everyone started to file their taxes, so we expect that that number will go up slightly. We also, our most troubling caseload to try and retain outstanding receivables from is our probation caseload. So a couple of years we implemented a probation compliance payment plan in which we send out reminders the day before the payment's due, and if they miss the payment, we send out another reminder. We've got about 65% compliance rate, which is about more than 30% of where we were, higher than where we were when we started. We automated that system earlier this year, so hopefully we'll see even more improvement as the years go on. Cost of justice is the label of the next slide. The court operates in the red. In 2018, operating costs exceeded the sum of all receipts by $757,000. Our receipts that we took in overall were down by $20,000 from what they were in 2017, and the township revenue, the money that the township retains, was down by just over $5,000. The state of Michigan does contribute to the court budget. They cover the total cost of both judges' salaries. We receive money based on our drunk driving and drug caseload. In 2018, we were reimbursed just over $8,400 for that. And we also receive money back for the juror compensation and reimbursement fund. Moving on to some of our just more lighthearted operational highlights. In 2018, one of our longtime employees, Shelley Booth, was selected as Waterford Township's Employee of the Year. She decided for our Christmas give back that we would adopt 2 platoons and a couple of individual soldiers. She organized the gift buying, wrapping, getting it out on time to get it overseas. One of the most notable things that she did was she bought a bunch of Christmas cards and put them around the courthouse for not only staff but the citizens to fill out when they were there waiting. Did it over the course of the month, and so we put those in the boxes too. And it just, I think, is a real reflection of where some of our employees' hearts are, most of our employees' hearts are. And so that on your right is just a thank you letter from one of the individually adopted soldiers. We also participated in a number of educational trainings in 2018. The ones that are pictured here was with the help of the fire department. They came in and helped us do a CPR first aid, and we did a stop the bleed tourniquet training. So we're prepared if there's an emergency on site or, God forbid, an active shooter. We also participated in a number of courses through the Michigan Judicial Institute, Michigan and National Association of Treatment Court Professionals. Our Chief Probation Officer, Angie Reed, wrote a scholarship and received money to fly down to Florida with she and our Veterans Treatment Court Program Coordinator, Tim Reynolds, to deal with veteran and military domestic violence that's occurring. So a lot of good trainings. We're doing one through the National Institute for the Court Management. I'll actually be done with that certificate program in the fall of this year, so I'm excited about that. And we take advantage of a lot of trainings offered through Oakland County's leadership program as well. They're pretty cost effective, so we like to send staff locally too. 2018, we did our first ever amnesty program. We had a lot of fun with this. It was the first of its kind. We were the first court to do a social media campaign to advertise. Our high for people reach was just over $15,000, and it went international and national, so it was kind of fun. Judges were really good sports, and they made some memes, and they did their first promotional video. We really liked the idea of kind of creating a jingle, but then we had to worry about copyright, so we had to scrap that one. But we managed to close 56 cases and bring in over $8,000 with the project, so it was pretty successful. Our treatment courts, again, during 2018, we accepted 70 cases, graduated 41, 31 of those sobriety court participants, 10 veterans court participants. If you look at the slide on the right, that was really kind of a special thing that, again, was the brainchild of Shelley Booth. In November, to honor Veterans Day, we brought in 3 local World War II vets that live over at Canterbury on the lake. All of them were named Joe. One, if memory serves, was a Merchant Marine, the other Army, the 3rd Navy. They were all in their 90s, and if you look at that picture on the top, it was so touching. That was a spontaneous line of everybody who was in that courtroom stood up to shake their hands. So it was just a really great experience. Turning on to the next page just highlights our community service program. Because we have to collect monies based on people's ability to pay, they do have the ability to waive some of their fines and costs if they're not financially able to pay through our community service program. We have a farm over at Hess Hathaway. Since that time when that was first introduced, we've expanded partnerships with Parks and Rec and DPW and CPI, so the judges really believe that you're going to give back to the community that you violated the law in. And so in 2018, we completed over 1,700 hours of community service hours, and the harvest reaped close to 2 tons. We scaled down a little bit this year, which we then subsequently donate to local seniors and food resource centers. Some of our other notable endeavors: collaborative scheduling and resource sharing. We do a court and schools program that's actually coming up soon. Judge Coons headed to Mason this month, and then Pierce in April. So the kids, they actually take people who are being sentenced and sentence them in the gymnasium of the school. He gives them a day of community service credit for it because it's pretty intimidating to get up in front of a bunch of middle schoolers and get sentenced. We do a teen court program too, which is also a diversion program aimed at keeping kids out of the court system. Person is informally charged, the kids come and play the role of prosecutor, defense attorney, judge, and jury, and then make a ruling on the case and dole out punishment, which is usually harsher than anything that we could come up with, ironically enough. Oak Video, we utilize Oak Video for arraignments with the jail. We also do pre-sentence investigation. It's a really cost-effective way of doing business, and it creates a much safer way because these people are in custody. We don't have to transport them and bring them through. So we also learned last week that the jail has some new software that we will be able to, with our MIDC project, the court-appointed attorneys will be able to do interviews from their computer to the jail, so that'll save on some of the travel time. So lots of good tools there. And then we also have a partnership with Oakland University and several local high schools where we do an internship program. Just an incredible opportunity to work with some of the youth in the community. And the Oakland University partnership has been a pipeline for talent because most of these kids are graduating from college. We get to try them out for free for a semester, and then the really good ones we bring back and have come on as our employees. Last but certainly not least, we want to just thank our incredible staff at the 51st District Court. They are a great group of people. They work really hard and do a fantastic job. There's 2 more pages after this. That's our big win against Novi. We've won 2 years now, and they were undefeated before they met us. So, and just one more last page with our group. A huge shout out to Ron Carpenter and his ears because he's our resident jokester. So thank you for listening to me. I hope if you guys are free, you'll join us for our court night on April 17th. More of an opportunity to come and see what it is we do. Any questions?
Yeah, 2 things. It should be noted that you guys have grants for the sobriety for
Yes.
Veterans Court.
Yes, we do.
I think the public should know that you do get grants for that. Angie's very good at getting right grants for that.
She got close to $130,000 this year that helps subsidize the program.
And I just have one question on Veterans Court and veterans, they're dear to my heart because my son, what kind of cases do you get from veterans?
Well, they're all misdemeanors. We see a lot of domestic violence. We see substance abuse. We've had some unlawful discharge of a weapon, but yeah, so, I mean, anything that's a misdemeanor we'll take in as long as they're not precluded by statute from participating in the program.
I'm just very curious what type of,
You do see a lot. There is a connection between domestic violence.
my son had some issues, but his is mostly all retail fraud.
Okay.
You know, for PTSD, and I just was, just that life for yesterday.
They would be eligible for that too. In our sobriety court program as well, initially we geared it towards drunk drivers, but we realized that that was precluding a lot of people who were really in need from the program. So we now screen them for risk and need, and we'll take everything from retail fraud to DWLS if it was necessary.
My
in the
son had
sobriety
one
court
problem,
program.
where he had 100% PTSD.
Yeah.
And now I problem with retail fraud. I think that's before time went to a felony, but he was in the Veterans Court down in Wayne County.
Okay.
Judge Kennedy, that really helped him a lot.
It's an amazing program because we've got a pipeline to the VA, so all services that are typically hard to get into, we're just streamlined right in, and everybody comes together as a team. And I mean, if you ever get a chance, we just had a graduation. We'll have another one probably in August or September. It really is a touching experience, and we have a really strong mentor program that Judge Switalski and Rhett Reeder from Milford Counseling put together, and it just, there's a lot of straight through support is the motto, and these guys give their time every other Thursday afternoon and come and help walk these guys and ladies.
We always have the graduation days on Thursdays, and those are bad days for me.
Oh, yeah.
Tuesday or Wednesday, I really want to come.
Yeah, that's the day
I
that
know
they
that.
do it, so hopefully you'll be able to make it one of these
If it's
times.
raining, I'll definitely be there.
Okay, all right, well, I'll do a rain dance.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, any other questions?
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
consent agenda. Is there anything on the consent agenda that anybody would like to remove prior to me reading it? Okay, February 25th, 2019, board meeting minutes. Today, March 11th, 2019, bill payment. Department of Public Works, February 2019 report. 51st District Court's February 2019 report. Fire Department's February 2019 report. Library January 2019 report. Parks and Recreation's January 2019 report. And appoint Sandy Paul to the Drayton Plains Nature Center Board.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Support. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Wall,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Martin, yes. Joliet,
Yes.
Buska,
Yes.
Birch,
Yes.
Bartolotta.
Yes.
You went last.
I was first,
We noticed that.
but that probably go to my head. Okay, next up is the board liaison reports. Never done this before, Tony, so we'll.
No, but I have
do
nothing to
first.
report till after our next board meeting, then we'll have something.
Steve,
Cable Commission, nothing to report. I have a meeting on the 17th.
okay. Margaret,
Nothing to report.
Waterford Historical Society is quiet this time, so I have nothing to report. Kim,
I have nothing to report. I have nothing to report either till last meeting. All my meetings are next week.
The Hess Hathaway board meets this Thursday, so nothing to report for now.
okay, that was an easy one. Okay, under new business, we have the amended Oakway interlocal agreement for 2019. And if you look in there, the primary reason they did this is the first time since the year 2000, they've added 2 new fire departments into Oakway. So your group's expanded, that's good.
I just have a quick question. Who are the 2 new communities?
Rochester Hills and Farmington.
Okay.
Both good-sized departments.
Yes.
Good. That's
That's
12 now? Pardon me, is that 12 now? Oakway's 12?
10.
10. And we're 8, okay.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the revised agreement.
I support.
Any further discussion? Okay, was there anything you wanted to say, Chief?
No, sir.
Okay. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? Okay. Next up, we have the approval of the purchase of a new fire truck.
Just a quick comment for the general public that this was budgeted for back in for the last budget approval for 2019 with the SAD money.
Correct.
I will make a motion to approve the new fire truck purchase.
Support.
Any further discussions or any questions for the chief? Okay, anything you'd like to add?
The only thing I'd like to add, real quick, when these mics are hot, is that we did go through the HGAC cooperative purchase program again, just like we did with the previous trucks in 17. And the Sutton company or Apollo came back with a price, and I asked them to go back to the drawing board on the price and offer a larger discount for the prepaid. And the amount of time that they're going to have our money tied up is a little bit longer than last time. And so they came back with, I think, was what is a fair amount of discount. And so I'm happy to report that we can save the township. Let's see, it was something like $18,000 total, I think.
I think it was 16.
Pushing
16,
17.
okay.
Pushing 16,906.
16906, yeah.
But again, and that's far greater than any money we would earn off an investment, unless the market went right off the charts in a good way. But, you know,
Right.
it's a far greater savings, so it's a savings and a savings, so. That, like I said, if we talk to you get the report, but that's very good. I appreciate that. That's really good. Very self-explanatory.
Chief, one question on the fire truck. I'm assuming you're gonna sell it at auction or sell it, that money will go right back into. your
Right
budget.
in, right, yes, right into the capital, hopefully.
The 330 fund? Yep.
330, no, I don't know how that gets moved around. at the budget department, but it'll definitely go back into the fire department.
If the board decides to approve it tonight, when will you take possession of it?
It's at least 12 months out.
12 months?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing for, I read the memo here, the other one, the lady who just wanted to leave, frames are all messed up on it. You just have another truck?
Yes, we have 12 engines right now, so we have spares. And we can, if we have to, we have to put one of the towers in service if we have to, which does happen occasionally.
Looking forward to seeing it.
Me too.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, question?
The courts approved special assessment districts.
Come up to the microphone, identify yourself, please.
Darrell Boone, 4012 Sawyer, the court district, or the state court approved special assessment districts.
The state,
Court system approved the special assessment districts. They were in the courts,
yeah, it's still in the courts.
so it's still in the courts.
Still in the courts.
So this is a separate phone.
No. Okay.
Roll call vote. Markey, yes. Thomas?
Yes?
Wall?
Yes.
Yes.
Bartolotta? Birch? Yes. Ruska?
Yes.
Joliet?
Yes.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have the purchase of patrol and unmarked police vehicles.
Make a motion to approve the purchase of patrol and unmarked police vehicles.
Support. Any further discussion on this?
I guess I should probably say the total cost is $176,153. Chief, can I ask you a couple of questions? Chief's right.
Chief Underwood, how are you tonight?
Good, thank you.
Good, thank you.
Good evening. It's got, questions I have is, I see you want to purchase a Ford and a Chevy. I see the Chevy is probably about $5,900 more than the Chevy. I'm sorry, than the Ford. How come you don't still get two Fords?
Well, sometimes these vehicles will be used for surveillance or other purposes, and in order to be able to conduct a surveillance, we can't have 5 of the same Ford vehicles driving down the road here. So we tend to mix them up from time to time, and that's what we've done.
Okay. One other, last question, did you buy the utility vehicle, the Tahoe? Is this the first 4x4 you're buying?
No, normally, historically, we've purchased Fords because it was more cost effective to do that. And the Ford's utility vehicles were all-wheel drives. The price of those Fords, which are actually smaller, now has gone up to the point where the cost is similar to that of the Chevy, which is a bigger vehicle, has more room, is 4-wheel drive. And on top of that, with the changeover that Ford is conducting, the delivery time is much further out than what the Chevys are, and we need those cars as quickly as possible. So we've made the decision to purchase 3 Chevys at this particular point.
No, I'm glad to see you were getting a 4-wheel drive vehicle. I believe you had 2-wheel drives at one time.
Yes. Some of those old Crown Vics are 2-wheel drives, and when they get down those streets by the lakes, they're tough to get back up sometimes in the snow.
Very good.
I just want to also commend your use of using the forfeiture funds to purchase these vehicles.
Thank you. This, we also had $108,000 budgeted with special assessment money, but in light of where we're at with that, we will go ahead and use this drug forfeiture money. If the assessment is approved sometime in the future, we can make a journal change, but at this point, we were in need of the vehicle, so we're going to go ahead and make that move now.
Okay. Good. Anybody else, any questions for Chief? Did your homework, good job.
Thank you very much.
Okay. This is the roll call vote.
Okay, Birch? Yes. Ruska?
Yes.
Joliet?
Yes.
Bartolotta?
Yes.
Markey, yes. Thomas?
Yes.
Wall?
Yes. Okay, next up, we have the student painters proclamation. Isn't that tough to say? Would somebody like to read that? Anybody, just one person, does that to be all seven?
Whereas Student Painters is a company founded in Michigan in 1987. Student Painters is committed to developing college students into entrepreneurs through running their own house painting business. And whereas Student Painters provides personal growth and career opportunities for college students who manage 4 to 6 students for the summer, learning how to coach and motivate people, valuable and practicable business skills. And whereas Student Painters allows Waterford area students to earn money for college tuition and related expenses while providing a means for them to develop the tools they need to become the Waterford area's next generation of great business leaders. And whereas Matthew Horton, a student at Saginaw Valley State University, pledges to provide top quality exterior painting services in a professional manner as he leads his team of dedicated painters in Waterford Township as the Waterford Student Painters Branch Manager. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Township Board welcomes student painters and Matthew Horton as a small Waterford business creating jobs for local students, committing to professional and personal growth, and providing services to the Waterford community.
Thank you. Yeah. Matthew, born and raised in Waterford Township, graduated from Waterford Mount High School. So he's coming back to the community and looking to start up a business and grow from there. So.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the student painters proclamation.
I support.
Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Birch.
Yes.
Braska.
Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
Wall.
Yes.
Marquis. Yes. Joliet.
Yes.
Bartolata.
Yes.
Okay, that brings us to the end of our agenda. Is there anybody from the public who would like to come before the board at this time? And I don't mean to be doom and gloom, but you're limited to 3 minutes, sir.
I do it in 2.5.
Deal. I'll let you carry the 30 seconds over for a later meeting.
Earlier this evening, the question was asked, what is today? And you neglected to say it's 7 days away from the deadline to get your nominations into Waterford Youth Assistance for our Youth Recognition Night. So
I
I'm
was
here.
going to say that in my closing statement.
So I'm here tonight to remind the board and everybody in attendance and watching on television that Waterford Youth Assistance is having its 32nd annual Youth Recognition event on May 1st. And the deadline for getting your nominations in are next Monday. And as usual, we have about 5 so far, and we will probably end up with 70 or 75 by next Monday. But the sooner you get them in, the better we can type them up and get them all prepared and let the kids know that they're being nominated and planning our event. So this is a great event on our part, I think. So many times in the news you hear all the bad things that are going on. In this particular case, we recognize all the students for the volunteer work that they're doing in the community. So if you know of somebody that's done something, if the Boy Scouts over there are working on a project that they think is worthy of being recognized for, you know, they're somebody in their group can nominate them. Teachers can nominate their students. Anybody, a parent can nominate a kid down the road for raking leaves all fall for the old lady down the road that couldn't do it herself. It's a great event. Every time I'm at that event, I'm in awe of what students are doing in our community, giving back, seeing something that needs to be done, and instead of just ignoring it, taking initiative and leading a drive to raise funds for something, or actually just forming a committee and going out and doing something. If you can come to that event, I think that you will leave it uplifted and very much proud to be a resident of Waterford. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That is a wonderful event, too. It really is. Is there anybody else? Yes, sir.
Good evening. I'm Larry Spees, 186 Hickory Lane. I recently reviewed the 6 videos designed to take visitors on a tour of all things that Waterford Township has to offer, about public service, parks and recreation, education, homes and real estate, and the quality of life. Things mentioned about Waterford and that was that Waterford's a perfect place to call home. It provides for social growth. It enhances the quality of life. It attracts business. It has something to offer for everyone. And we're doing better by working together. But nothing is mentioned about the resolution that the Waterford Board still has on the books from 2016, that Waterford does not welcome refugees from Syria and maybe eventually elsewhere. Do we need to have an assigned sheet when a sign-in sheet when someone enters the township to show their ancestry? Maybe another video is needed to indicate who we are going to discriminate against, or maybe vote to cancel that old resolution. Or we could adopt a statement the Waterford School District has used. I'm quoting from their leaflet just sent out. No person on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin or ancestry, age, sex, disability, height and weight, or marital status shall be discriminated against, excluded for participating in, denied the benefits of, or otherwise be subject to discrimination in any program, activity, or event. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that is invited to bring before the board at this time? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Any further discussion on that topic? All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed? Adjourned. Thank you.
I didn't know that we got you the letter already. I wanted to personally, you know that.
Chief, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm glad you guys get in the car.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
I just hope you got
It beats walking this weather.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I figured. I just want to know what they look like. So
Can't tell you.
All right. I'll probably find out on my own.
Yeah. Yep, thank you. Lions Den.
Well, that's submitted to the early 20s.
right here, Daryl.
Yeah.
I'm going, I gotta go to another meeting. Non-fire related. How you doing, sir? Because if Matt's got a car, you don't have to walk all that's my car.
So you going to a meeting or another vacation?
A meeting? It's weekend. Do you have a card? Okay, well, that's where I gotta go to. Oh, that doesn't have anything.
Your name on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it says, no, that's correct.
I thought I had your number on it.
No
We sent John and so there was a couple that were before, and I want that to graduate with us. You're all runs together. But yeah, it's mostly, I would say, people that were there. Yeah. Several floors from my church. I'll check. I made about one just. Right. So, I don't know. Yeah. Well, I always look at it, I don't know anybody going, I don't know somebody going. All right. Tell Mike to check, okay.
You can.
Oh. She would do awesome. I'll be out of town, but it's
I had a meeting with, there's not room for you to work, we had right out. But, she's supposed to send it, like, she'll send an email. What's your name? Are you assistant? This department says church. Yeah, she's gonna send out, she'll send a letter. So, on USS, there's a book for each American. So if you're working in American, website down
yeah.
that helps you scouts.
I always have to CC myself, because sometimes I'll send somebody something.
Big picture of it. It's not a substitute for reading American. It's just easy.
Oh, I can get on to that. Okay, it's my part.
How often do they do those things?
Just sent it and let me know what I will see. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's all changing right now.
Yeah, slam the door, threaten to throw them on each and every floor. Dave will leave the guy because they send a flame in the face, threaten to throw out the porch, called filthy names and stuff. And they're the one who raised us.
Yeah, no, it's the other side. Yeah. I'm just glad this is not election. So anyway, well, I'm gonna head. All right. All right, Friday, Friday night, yeah. Okay. Have a good drive. Are you driving all by yourself?
No, my wife.
So you can trade off? No, you work. How does that work?
That's just the way it works. Worked that way since 1982. Something's gonna change now. Yeah.
I mean, like, no.
No.
You just got to drive with me. You want to be that they got to try
My sister's trying to get me to do books. I can't read along with a book. Yeah, write this. You don't understand. I'll just get lost. Not in my story. Oh, damn.
I want to go say goodbye to Hudson one more time.
Who needs to reach out to?
Always your winter bin.
You're so
I know.
I'm leaving on, to film the climax.
But you're not now, right?
Yeah, because I'm leaving on the first week. You guys got okay, all right, thanks. Appreciate it.
I get a great time. I get a great time this year.
Oh, yeah?
July 28, 1960.
Did you get hot chocolate or something? Oh, okay. Always wow. Big and bright.
Bye, Gary.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Ready.
Scouts? All you scouts, make sure you, Derek, give me those two as well. Make sure you guys scout this and keep it there. Don't crinkle it up and tear it. Because this is your record showing that you, if you start working on merit badge. You need this to give to your merit badge counselor to make sure that all your requirements get signed off. And then you turn it in to well, not and take care of that badge. Okay? All right, so